Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video we are going to see how to set up a communication between iFrame and its parent window. So generally most of us try to upload our games to the websites or mobile applications. So there we would like to have some communication between the iFrame. So the iFrame is nothing but the iFrame which plays the game, and to its parent window which supports the iFrame. So these days a lot of people are trying to build games and set up on their websites or mobile applications with API integration. But what if a user wants to close the app? So such kind of things we can implement with the iFrame communication using the post method. So I'll just demonstrate how it works. So for example, if I send a message from here, parent window, so I can see it populated in iFrame. If I send a message from iFrame, you can see that is being populated in the parent window, right? It's as simple as that. Let's try another message. So construct 3, if I try that, you can see the message here. If I type Scara, and you can see the message here. Okay, it's a very simple method. I'm going to show you how to do it. So before continuing, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe so that you will not miss my content. And if you give a like, so it will help me it motivates me to create more videos. Alright, thank you very much. So let's start the development. So before starting the development, I have a small announcement.
We have published a game called Life in the Machine. If you are one of our followers, you might already know about the game. And if not, Life in the Machine is a detective game that requires someone with tremendous skills to investigate a murder mystery, find clues, interrogate suspects, and find the criminal. The game is available in 2 versions. The Android version is on Google Play Store and Amazon App Store, and the Windows version is on itch.io and Steam. It is known that only a person with critical thinking can solve the case. Can you solve the case? Links in the description.
Alright, so let's open a new project. I'll call it as post message test. Okay, let's create it. Okay, let's set the viewport size to half HD and post message. So let's change it to %text. So let's put a text object here. Okay, so this is only for demonstration purpose, and you can make modifications however you like, but the method would be the same. So let's put one text input. And let's add one button. Okay, send message. Alright, so we're going to use or take the advantage of constructive scripting method. So let's create a script. So what are we going to do is, so if I go to search for post message, you'll see a Mozilla developer page, and here you can go through this page and understand how the post message will work. Okay, so this is the you'll have to add an event listener, and you'll have to set one message. So and the event is where you'll have the data transmitted. So that could be a message or anything you want. Alright, so let's do one thing. Let's simply copy this one, go to construct 3. So we want this to be running before runtime. Okay, so let's put it here. Okay, so let's remove all of these things. So here you can see there is an event, and in event we would like to capture the data transmitted from event, right? So for that, let's create a variable called data. Okay, and in data, so in this event listener, let's save the value of event dot data into the data variable. So what happens when the post message from the parent window, from here, if I send construct 3, so this message will be transmitted to this one, to the iframe. This will capture that message and it will display it here in the text object. So here we created the text object, right? It should display here. Okay, let's log it. So that data, so we are going to log the data. So just for recognition, let's call it as iFrame received. Oh, received spelling is incorrect or what? Oh, never mind. Okay, so I want this message to be displayed on this text. One second. So let's create a variable with text instance. So I'll call it as text instance. So I'll put the text instance when there is a runtime, but before starting the project. So what I will do is text instance equal to runtime dot objects dot text dot get first instance. Okay, let's save this project as post message test. So now what I will do is I will as we have the text instance ready now, text instance dot text is equal to data. Okay, done. So we receive the data and the data is stored in data variable, and we are logging that just to check if it is working. And we have taken text instance and created a variable for that, and after the runtime we saved that instance, the text instance, to the text instance object. So we are displaying the same data into the text instance dot text, which is nothing but this one, this object. All right, so now what we have to do, we have to use this one. If user adds some message and if they click on send message, that has to show it in the post message in the parent window. So let's quickly create a event for that. So on button clicked and text input, compare text is not blank. So let's create one variable. We'll call it as post message and put it as string. Let's save this value to post message. So system set value post message to text input dot text. Okay, so in order to have a new function, let's create one more script. So let's put this script to imports for events. So let's create one more variable here. Let's call it as post message again. So it's up to you, whatever you want to name it. So let's create a function post text. Let's call it as post text, and value will be providing here in this event sheet. This post message will pass to this function. Okay, so for parent we'll have to write it as parent dot post message. So we're just using this method. Here it is showing as pop-up, so instead of pop-up we'll have it as parent dot post message, and this is the message hello there. Instead of hello there we'll have it as value. Let's put it a value as small v, and instead of domain let's add it as star. Here also let's console log it. So let's call it as iFrame sender, and message would be value. Okay, so here we need to add one script, so which is post text, which is the function of runtime dot global variables dot post message. Done. Okay, so let's try to run this project. Let's see how it works. Okay, so if I add anything, okay, so iFrame sender is Sudeep, iFrame receiver is Sudeep, so both the functions are working properly, and you can also see the text is being displayed. So this is happening because we do not have any parent window as of now. So once we write a code for that, it works perfectly. So before writing a program for parent window, so that has to be done in VS Code or any other editor you want. So I will use VS Code. So before that, let's do one thing. We'll have to host it somewhere, right? So I'm going to use Vercel to host the game for now. It's up to you, where do you want to host it. Okay, so post message test.zip. So this is our project file, right? So let's extract all. Okay, so this is our folder, game folder. So let's open VS Code. Okay, so these are our project files. Okay, one second. Okay, let's send it to GitHub, and I have linked the GitHub with the Vercel. So as soon as I upload it to GitHub, it will automatically show it in the Vercel. Okay, private repository. Okay, done. So let's go to vercel.com. Okay, so let's create a new project. Okay, so here is our project. Let's import it, deploy. Let's go to the dashboard. Let's open this one. All right. Okay, done. Right. So this is what we want. So let's open a new file here. no, not this one. Okay, so let's create a temporary folder. So I'll just put it as new folder. Let's, as it's only for testing, let's open the folder and create a index.html. So I'll create a new file. Let's call it as index.html. So let's write the basic requirements. So meta, what do we call this one? Char set is equal to I always have confusion, UTC 8 or something. Okay, let's Google it. I always forget this one. UTF. Okay, it's actually UTF. All right. Okay, so let's create a body. So the objective is not to teach any HTML or JavaScript. That's again that different module. So in this video we're going to see only how to use the post message to communicate between the browser and its iFrame. So let's call it as post message example. Okay, so if I go to this folder, if I open this one, it should show the message. Okay, let's close the old window. Okay, so here we would require one input box. Okay, let's see if I am using it in right way. Yes. Okay, so that's an input box. Now we would require a button, and button name is send message. And let's give 2 breaks, and let's add an iFrame. So iFrame will have to display this game. Let's copy this one. Let's have the width as 640, height as 360, which is 16:9. Okay, let's see. Okay, done. We got this one now. So let's add 2 more breaks. Now at the bottom we would like to display the message. We would like to capture the message from iFrame, right? So let's call it as message from iFrame. Okay, message from iFrame, done. So let's write the script now. Let's close this one. So we're going to use the same method again. Let's copy this one. Okay, so before that we would like to send a message. We have to use this one instead of pop-up. There in the game we have used parent.postMessage, right? So similarly we have to use the iFrame here. So here we have to use iFrame.content window. So if you are using any pop-up window, then you'll have to use the pop-up. Okay, let's simply copy this one. Let's paste it here. Okay, let's put it under function just like we did for just like we did in the game. Okay, so let's put it here. So domain, let's add one variable. It's easy to edit later. Domain is equal to, so this is the link, right? So here let's delete this one, add domain, and here instead of hello there we would like to display the message from input box. So for that, let's create an ID. For that, ID is message input. Okay, let's add a variable within function. Let's call it as message. So let's get the ID, document dot get element by ID, which is input message dot value. Okay, so instead of hello there, let's remove that and add it as message. Alright, let's test this out. So it should, one-way communication should work. Okay, it's not working. So message dot, okay, I forgot to add the function here. So button on click, it should run post message function. Okay, let's try. Still not working. So function post message, domain is this one, message is the message from the input box. Let's see if there is any message. Pop-up is not defined. Oh, my mistake, I'm sorry. So let's create one more variable for iFrame. So let's call it as let's give an ID for the iFrame. So let's call it as post iFrame. Okay, so same thing in iFrame, let's pick it up from by document element get element by ID dot, so what is this one? This one should be content window dot content window, right? So instead of pop it should be iFrame. So this should work now. Right, perfect. So you can also see the message iFrame received Sudeep. Right, so if I try to send anything from iFrame, it is sending but it is not capturing here. Okay, let's try that. So in the event listener, all we have to do is write the program to capture the message. So once the message is received, what we are going to do is we are going to add this to this one. So let's call it as ID show message. Okay, so what are we going to do is, so document dot get element by ID, which is show message dot inner HTML is equal to event dot data. Okay, let's try it again. This is Sudeep, this is Unuti. So let's see. Okay, you see the message here, right? Unuti. It's just that it doesn't have this message. So what I'm going to do is simply add this one here. Okay, let's try this again. So let's try it as construct 3. I'm sorry, why am I spelling wrong? Okay, construct 3, you see the message here, and let's add it as Skera, right? So that's all. Now we are able to set up the communication between iFrame and its parent window. So what we have done, let's quickly recap. So we have used the post method. So before runtime on startup, we have added this event listener, window.event add event listener of message, and this message of event will capture the data from this event, which is the message sent from its parent window. So in this case it's construct 3, and event.data is nothing but construct 3. So data value we are storing it in a variable, and we are displaying it in the text on the layout 1. So here it is being displayed, right? So at the same also once we submit the data or any text here in this input box, and when I click on send message, so this message is being triggered. This function is being triggered with the value passing from this input value, input text, and this is being passed to this post text function. And in post text it is simply using parent.postMessage, and it is being transmitted the value which we have entered here in the input box. Similarly, I am doing the same in this index.html. Simply I'm also doing the same thing here. Let me open that. Right, so I have created one input box and send message, and the message will be transmitted to iFrame, and I use the same method to send the message. So instead of there I was using parent, but here I'm using iframe.content window, and this posts the message to the iframe, and whenever the iframe has sent message, it captures from the event listener and it displays at the bottom. Right, I hope it's clear. If you have any confusions, if you need any more clarifications, you can reach out to me. I have provided my contact and this Discord link in the description. You can contact me there. Also, if you have any project works for me, I work as a freelancer, you can reach out to me, or if you have any requirement or help with any projects, I can help you with that. Alright, so that's all about this video. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please like and share with your friends, and it helps me to create more content. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that you don't miss the content. Alright, see you again. You take care. Bye bye.
Hello there, thank you for visiting our channel. Shepherd Games is a developer and publisher of video games, websites and applications and automation. I am Sudeep, the founder of Shepherd Games. I have developed numerous video games ranging from ultra casual to complex real-time multiplayer games, automated process flows with scripting and automation using Google Apps Script, and developed static and dynamic websites and applications. You may review some of my work from the link in the description. Along with self-publishing, I help my clients to achieve their goals with my development services. If you have a requirement, you may write to me or join my Discord server. The contact details are in the description. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do, as more useful content is coming, so you don't miss them.